Let's try this new Tirtir Mask Fit AI Filter Cushion Foundation. It retails for $25 for 0.63 ounces, but it's often on sale right now for $20. It comes in 30 shades, and I got mine in both 13N and 11C. It claims to have high coverage with a flawless finish and a semi-matte finish. It uses a special thin technology to make this a very thin, high coverage finish, and it claims to last for 72 hours. I don't know about that. Let's try it on. Let's start by using the puff that they provide. I don't usually have good luck with these, but they say this is how you're supposed to put it on, so we're going to give that a try. I'm going to start with the patting motion just to sort of work it in and then try to, blend it out and smear it around. So far, actually, they seem to have improved their puff. It's a little thicker than the very thin ones they used to have, and I do feel like it's working okay, actually. I'm building this up to get the amount of coverage that they say it has. It is supposed to have medium to high coverage, and I would say that's pretty accurate. That's actually really nice, although definitely a bit white for me. Let's go ahead and try a brush on the other side to see if I like the application a little bit better. And yes, immediately I like this thinner application that I can build up and really blend out. Now this is only going to really work if you have a really nice foundation brush like this Sigma. It's the F80. This is my favorite foundation one. It's got pretty darn good coverage first pass, but I actually thinned it out a bit with the Sigma brush, just because I think it looks more natural. This is a little heavy here, the side that I used the puff with. I think you can go lighter with the puff. I find the puff always a little hard to get the look I want with, but let's see. Let's try smoothing with it. That kind of works. Yeah, I do kind of like that. Okay, but what I'm gonna do, because I have some hormonal breakout, let's try building this up just as a concealer. See if we can use it that way. Especially this big one over here. It kind of works, but it kind of feels like I'd be better off just using spot concealer for these areas. I feel like I'm building up too much product by doing that. I definitely like a thinner application of this product. And it does have a little bit of shine to it, and it's picking up texture, so I'm definitely going to want to powder this one for me. I'm going to cover this ginormous zit and do my under eye concealer, and then we will powder. I have all my concealer on, everything is blended. Let's do powder because it's still sticky. So this one, I mean, it's been a good 5-10 minutes that I've been messing with my brows and trying to cover up all the business I got going on here, and it is still very moisty. So this one is definitely gonna need to be set down. Also, I noticed I went like that and it like removed really bad. So let me fix that since I just made a mess out of that. Let me just put that back. Yeah, this one is definitely not like it sets down. Let's go ahead and hit it with some powder. I'm gonna use my Makeup by Mario in Fair Pink. It is my usual one. I try to keep things kind of same so that, all of my finishes kind of come out the same. We can't blame it on a different powder, right? Boy, that is a big one. I haven't had to cover those in a while. So let's go ahead and see how this looks with some good powder on it. Powder went on really, really well. Looks just very, very poreless over here. It is supposed to be like an AI filter, as they say, so you're supposed to have like really beautiful looking skin with this, very perfected. Here's without the powder. Too much. I'm seeing little bits of shine picking up, and it's giving me just a little bit of a sense of texture. When you powder it down, it just becomes very, very smooth. A lot of that is the powder. The powder's doing a lot of work here, but I'm always going to use this powder anyway for my kind of skin, so this is a good test for me to see how I'm actually going to wear it. Okay, there's everything powdered. This is usually how I like to start. as far as my skin looking like really blurred and perfected and a bit, I don't like it too moist and juicy. I will add some highlighter back to get that, or I'll use a juicy blush to give me back that little bit of like juiciness, but not here and not everywhere. That's what I don't like. That's why I always powder. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put the rest of my makeup on, and then we will talk about first impressions. I have not worn this before, so usually I test things, but I'm about ready to go on a trip, so I don't have time to try this a whole bunch. So we're gonna do this wear test together today, and we'll see what I think of this. I traditionally have not liked most of the Tirtir compact cushion foundations, but they are wildly popular, so of course I have to test it, and maybe this is the one for me. Okay, let's get the makeup on. Okay, so makeup is on, and so far so good. I mean, I'm not blown away, but I'm just gonna have to see how this wears. I feel like the powder is doing most of the work here. I'm seeing a lot of texture. Some of that is, I do have some texture right now, especially with some of these breakouts that I'm having. So far, pretty smooth, but I feel like that is just because I put on a bunch of powder. It was a little bit grainy. I can definitely see texture. Some of it is the lighting is catching every bit of texture, but it's not getting rid of my texture, which is pretty much what I usually am looking for in any kind of a foundation. I want something that blurs and smooths and helps me with that, especially when it just happens to be pretty bad right now. So, you know, I think this is just going to be the usual Tirtir thing for me. They're kind of heavy. They're a little bit glowy. The one that I think I did actually really like was, I think, the pink one. And it is because it's more like a skin tint where it's not too glowy. It is moisturizing and it's got a little bit of, you know, toning and color, but it's not so glowy and heavy or masky. That one I actually found worked okay. This one is sort of in between that and the red one. I'll be very curious to see how this wears, because that's one of their big claims, is that it is, you know, got a lot of really good heavy duty wear, and that it doesn't move. A lot of these, they are for wearing under masks, and it's supposed to not get disturbed. We will see with my T-zone, which does get oily, not terribly oily, but it does get oily and usually breaks down anything I have. We'll see how it holds up to that and at what point in the day it breaks up, because my oils will almost always break up something, and the only thing that helps and extend that time is to use something like the One Size On Till Dawn. That's why I really like that, but I'm not going to wear that today because I don't, you know, I want to see how the foundation works on its own. Okay, so other makeup I am enjoying. Lips are these two together. So this is the Seshu, I forget what it's called. It has a weird name, but I'll put it up. I have that on top of this one, which is the CoverGirl Yummy Plumper. And I think this one's like a chocolate something. I can't read that, so I will put it up. Anyway, those two together, this on the bottom, this on top. Cheeks, I did try the new NARS, the multiple, really pretty. I struggled with this. It is very, very matte, and I struggled with it. It was picking up. Okay, it's better now, but when I first put it on, it sort of picked up a lot of the makeup. I did find that with this Tirtir one, because it does try to set down, it was really easy to disturb it, and I had this big demarcation line that I had to then go in with one of these and sort of meld it all together so it wouldn't look. So I mean, a lot of it honestly underneath my cheeks has kind of been removed already, and I hate to start it that way, but I mean, that's kind of how it worked. So I probably should have used a powder blush, but I was hoping to put something a little juicier on. I started with this blush, which is a Rhode ripoff. These are like $6, and I really, really like them. They're really pretty. This is just, it's really, really balmy, and it's nice and pink, but it took the Tirtir right off. So already I can say that if you powder down the Tirtir, you're probably not going to want to use cream products with, you know, cream blushes, cream bronzers. It's going to, those two don't go well together. You're going to need to stick with powder, I think. So, okay, so let's go ahead and get this wear test started. I don't even know what to think, what to expect. We will see how this goes. I don't have a good history with these guys, so we'll see. Let's go ahead and get started with the wear test. So here's where we are starting. I mean, at least on my iPhone, which is a little kinder in some ways, it looks pretty flawless right now. So yeah, I think I might have just been in pretty harsh lighting where I was sitting with the actual lighting, like a really bright window was also hitting me with all of my lights and stuff, and I felt like I could see all kinds of shadowing from texture. So I think that that was pretty, like, maybe extra harsh lighting. Usually that's not the case, but I've been trying to film with my window open lately, and I think just for continuity I gotta stop doing that, because at least for skin stuff it's a little iffy. So anyway, this is where we are starting, and it does, at least on the iPhone, it does look pretty darn good. So hopefully this holds up. Okay, this is 2 hours, still holding up really, really well, but I am seeing, if you can see, a little bit of a sheen starting here in my T-zone, the usual. That said, this still looks really, really good. It's not like breaking up or anything. It still looks really smooth, very poreless, at least with the powder on it. So far so good. I wish the sheen hadn't already started up, but I might be able to do better with that if I just use some of my one size Until Dawn spray. I'll try that next time. Okay, 4 hours, and I wouldn't say it's changed all that much, but definitely getting dewy. Even though I'm getting dewy, it's not breaking up in an awful way. Like, in reality, this is really normal for me, and I would powder or blot right now. I could very easily do that with this. I'm not going to, because I'm going to go ahead and let this whole wear test run so that you can see what it looks like, say if you had to wear this on a travel day and you did not get a chance to do any kind of powdering for some reason, so you would know how it would hold up. So I think this one's gonna be, you know, I'm gonna be pretty greasy by the end of the day. But I mean, it's not like in an awful, like, ugly way so far anyway, so we'll see. This is only 4 hours. Usually by 6 hours I'm a disaster, so we'll see. Okay, we have made it to 8 hours, and I completely have changed my mind about this one. This is only my first day wear test. I think it wore amazing. Now, I got oily after 8 hours. Really, after I think the 4 hour mark, I really got to a point where in real life I would have started powdering or cleaning it up. I am like solidly oily, sort of all around here, up here. The oil has broken up in like just a really kind of consistent way. So it doesn't look, I mean, it doesn't look good, but it doesn't look as bad as some of the other ones where you end up with like a solid red, like where it's just missing. If I touch my face, there it goes. And honestly, I would have been powdering through this. So, I'm going to keep trying this one. I really liked it. I can't stand how oily I am, so I'm just going to, like, okay, so if I do that, you can see where it's on there. It leaves marks. So I'm just going to use a sponge, and honestly, we are good to go again. That is so much better. What are you going to do? You get oily if you're an oily skin person. So I don't expect really any of the foundations, just because I've never really found one that isn't like overly drying, that's not crazy, to be able to hold in my oils, because I have a lot of oils in my T-zone. I keep thinking that they're not so bad, but it depends on the day for me. They can be actually pretty bad, especially with the HRT I'm on. And today I actually had a really, I have too much estrogen in my system. I have endometriosis. I've had 2 surgeries to remove it. Some part of it is got to still be there, because when my estrogen levels get too high from what I'm using on the HRT, because my ovaries are gone, so I need something, right, to replace it. But if the levels get too high, not only does my boobs hurt, but my endometriosis and my lower abdomen starts to hurt in that same, not good way again. So I had a really kind of rough day with everything kind of hurting today. I kind of tipped over into a little too much, and shocker, I've got a big zit and I'm very oily today. I don't know how normal that is compared to other people, but for me it's pretty normal, and I really don't expect a product to be able to control that much oil. So I do have to say, overall, this one held up really well. It looked really good once I powdered it down. They have a lot of claims that I would not agree with. This one is supposed to be flawless filter-like skin, but now in real life, it's why it's called AI Mask Fit. It's supposed to blur imperfections, smooth texture, and reveal a poreless, perfected finish. It's supposed to have pore-refining skincare ingredients, and it has high coverage with a feather-light feel. I would say that's true. It does feel very, very light. It's supposed to dry down to a completely matte finish. It did not on me. Maybe I needed to wait longer. I really needed to powder this one, but I waited a good 5-10 minutes while I was doing other things, and it didn't do that. I did notice, however, on my hands, which don't get oily at all, my hands have not changed at all. So I think if you're not super oily, even though they say that this can control oil, I think not my oil. If you are dry skin, my hands are totally dry skin. It looks really good on my hand skin. I was kind of shocked looking at it just looks blurred and perfected. It's not cracking, crusty. It's still kind of on there. I don't normally notice that, but it really sort of made it through the day, and I noticed that my hands did not look as bad as they normally do, because there's literally this really smooth layer of foundation over that. So I have to say, normally these kind of full coverage made for oily skin. I mean, they say that this is made for oily skin. I mean, no, it's fine. It looks great on oily skin, but is it going to control your oily skin like they say it does? Not for me. It did not. Even with that, it's such a beautiful finish on it once you powder it down, because it had a little bit of glow that was picking up texture before I powdered it down. Even so, as an oily skin person, I still like this enough. I'm going to keep trying it because it has a really pretty finish, and your skin looks really natural in real light. I was having some texture issues, but the light was just really, I was in the worst light for a minute there. But in just everyday life, whenever I was out and I would check my iPhone or whatever and see what it looks like, it looked pretty good, actually. Really not makeup-y at all. I have to say, so far, I would recommend this one. It has this beautiful finish on it. It really, really does. And I was really impressed by that. It is indeed very, very blurring, but thin. You don't feel like you're putting a big silicone-y squishy, because I know I like blurring stuff. I like silicone. A lot of people don't like that silicone-y feeling. It might break them out, or it doesn't do that to me, thankfully. But this one does do blurring without that heavier silicone feel. It really doesn't feel very silicone-y at all. Let's see, what else? Ideal for oily and combination skin, controls shine without over drying. Well, it does not over dry you. And it controlled my shine for a little bit, but not for a lot of it. It's got niacinamide, vitamin C, probiotics. So it's supposed to help reduce the appearance of large pores. So the more you wear it, it's supposed to make your skin better. This is interesting. It's got thin technology. Ultrafine powders are processed through a tornado filtration system for seamless clump-free coverage over large and tiny pores. Moisture-infused powder delivers a fresh matte finish that stays hydrated, not flat. I would say it's not like a drying powder finish or flat or anything like that. It is actually very, very beautiful. Breathable coverage, yes. Satin matte, yes. Stays comfortable and transfer proof for up to 72 hours. No. Comfortable? Yes. Transfer proof? Absolutely not. Now on my, not if you have oils. Now on my hands, it has not been transferring. It did stay on my hands, but if you are oily like me, no, until I set it down with the powder, it was moving all over the place. I showed you, like I could just do that. So, you know, that's true of most foundations, but it's one of their claims, so I do have to address that. Overall, even though it doesn't live up to all its claims, it lives up to enough of its claims, and I like the way the finish looks. It's really nice. It's really, I love anything that has blurring in it. That always gets me. I'm gonna have to say this one's a pass. This one's a yes. Definitely check this out if you've been curious about these. I'm gonna keep wearing this one. I do think that this one is pretty good. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. If you haven't subscribed and you like this kind of content, I sure would appreciate a like and subscribe, as it really helps my channel to grow, and I am getting so close to 10,000 subscribers. I so appreciate you guys, and I would sure appreciate it if you haven't subscribed and you're thinking about it, if you do it so that I can hit my little goal of 10,000 subscribers. Really appreciate that. Okay, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.